The number one thing I hear from families is that once they get an autism diagnosis, they all of a sudden are isolating. They're kind of confined to their house. They don't feel comfortable or are unsure about going to the movies. They're unsure about going to a museum, out to community events. We also have a lot of really amazing resources for families like trips, events.
So we hold those events and we allow our RBTs to support the clients. The families are invited at no cost to them, and we make it a learning experience. And so with every trip, we make sure that the kids are learning something, the parents are learning something, the RBTs are learning, because sometimes the BCBAs are there, and it does not have to be the BCBA that supervises them. There are BCBAs that volunteer just to go on these trips to support the clients at the clinic. Also, we support families with transportation. So we have so many clients that are in schools and the family can't get to them soon enough. So we get transportation to help with the family and bring the client to the home where the RBT will treat the client. And so the RBT will actually meet the client at the school, and the transportation service will transport them back to the home for services. So I think that's wonderful.
So it's not just being confined to a center. Families can certainly come and drop their child off at the center, but then we do outings and trips to local parks. We had a really fun day where we brought in ponies and face painting, and it was a really awesome, day in the park with families.
So one other good thing, the supervisor on the case, while we're treating these kids in the community, they're not driving these long drive times like they will at other clinics. So we do separate each of our clinics into regions. And so we ensure that the BCBA stays within their region of their clients, so they're not having these extremely long drive times. Some BCBAs, they want to go outside those regions and treat those clients outside those regions, and we pride them in that, but we're not expecting them to do that.
Some agencies have very large service areas where they might be driving all over the state. I know that is very common, especially with home-based services, home-based service providers that are unfortunately getting fewer and fewer throughout the country. We're seeing a big emphasis on an in-clinic model only. And so the fact that we're still able to have in-home services and make it manageable for BCBAs to drive between clients is something that we should be really proud of. Looking at the BCBA schedules and making their time more efficient is something that is really, really helpful, especially for our newer BCBAs that might not know how to manage, their own schedules or their time. Having a clinical director that can help them look at the service areas, look at the clients, and group them together.
I was also thinking too, the BCBAs, they have such flexible schedules here. They don't have a full caseload where I have only morning clients or only evening clients. So we also meet the families too, where they are in their schedules. And so the clinical directors also support their BCBAs, ensuring that, okay, I'm going to make it flexible so we can increase on their quality of life as well.